Good morning, children. Today I am going to take English for 9th standard, our new lesson, that is the portrait of a lady. In this lesson, the author, who is the author of this lesson? The author of the lesson is Khushwant Singh, portrays the character of his grandmother and shares his life experience with her. So, the person that is the author, who is the author over here, it is the Khushwant Singh, where he shares his life experience with his grandmother. He describes her to be an old woman with a wrinkled face. What he has been described? He has been described her as an old woman with wrinkled face, slightly bent. Her silver locks were scattered untidily over her pale, puckered face. In silver and the hair is speaking about. So, which has been untidily over, scattered here and scattered over her pale, puckered face, means pale face where it has been scattered. The author and his grandmother were good friends. Who are the good friends? The author and the grandmother. See, I am just speaking about the author where he is informing us about the relationship with his grandmother. So, first he informed us about the grandmother, that grandmother is very old, how pale she was, and her hair, how lightly how hair is, that her hair was lightly silver, and also silver is that where he mean to say about the hairs where it has been turned to whitish, and also he describes about the bent of her age where he wants to speak. And then the author and his grandmother, he says that the grandmother and he been very good friends. He lived with her when his parents stayed in city. So he was living with his grandmother when the parents were started to live in the city itself. She used to get him ready for school and accompany him to school and spent a day in the temple attached to school and brought him back home in the evening. So the author has been dressed up, means who the grandmother used to get ready. Means the author used to get ready with his grandmother, and also she used to take him to the school and leave him in the school, wait in the temple till the school gets over, and again bring him back home. This was what the mother and grandmother used to be accompanied with this grandchild. She fed the stray dogs with stale chapatis. That is, even the street dogs were there. No? For them also, the grandmother used to feed the stale chapatis. When the author went up to university, his link with his grandmother was broken. See, so sad. Till he completed his education with her, it was a good relationship and friends, they were living their life. As such, when he left for the university, so there was a break between the grandmother and the grandson. She would spend her whole day reciting prayers. So, what did she do when his grandson was not there? So, he has left the grandmother and went to the university. So, there he has, so she has started reciting prayers while spinning her wheel. In the afternoon, she would feed sparrows and was relaxed doing so. In the morning, she used to recite the prayers, and in the afternoon, she used to feed the sparrows. When the author went abroad, she sent him with a smile and kissed his forehead silently. So, how did she send her grandson to the university, that is to abroad? She was very smile with her smiling face, and also she kissed his forehead. So the grandmother kissed his grandson's forehead, and also with a smiling face she sent his grandson to the university, that is to abroad. After 5 years, when he returned home, how many years he was there in abroad? He was there for 5 years. After 5 years, when he returned home, he found his granny in the same condition. So as he came back from abroad, he saw his granny in that same condition only. She looked the same. She welcomed him, clasping him in her arms, reciting prayers. So as he returned, she just clasped him in the arms, means she hugged him, and also she welcomed him with the reciting prayers. With the prayers, she welcomed him when he returned back to India. On the first day of his arrival, she spent time with him and her sparrows feeding them. So, what was the first day? On the first day of his arrival, the day when he arrived, she spent time with him. So, how did she spend that time? The first day when his grandson arrived to home, she first spent time with his grandson and then fed and was feeding for the sparrows. In the evening, she did not pray but played drum and sang songs with neighbor women in celebration of his arrival. See, so nice of that grandmother, no? What did she do? In the evening, she didn't go for the temple for the prayer, but what did she do? She started playing drums, and also along with the drums, she started singing with the neighbors. For what purpose? For arrival of for the celebration, she celebrated. Why she wants to celebrate that? Because for the arrival of his grandson. That was the first day she missed her prayers. So that is the first day she has been missed the prayers. Because the previous days and the years, what she has to do with, she would be reciting prayers in the temples. Like that she used to pass her time every day. That was the work she used to do. But as the grandson came from abroad, she started first day with the songs where she has to celebrate with the neighbors, playing drums and singing song. The next morning, she was taken ill with mild fever. So the day this grandson came, it was being celebrated very well, joyfully with him. But the next day, what happened to our grandmother? The grandmother was taken ill with a mild fever. She told that her end was near. She called her grandson and told that her end is very nearer. She lay peacefully in bed, praying and telling her beads and passed away peacefully. So that is the day as soon as the grandson came to her house. After that, the day she enjoyed very well by welcoming him, hugged him, and also kissed his forehead. And she started singing a song by playing her drums. And next day, the day it was taken up, means she was taken up ill with a mild fever. She started laying peacefully in the bed by praying and telling her beads and passed away peacefully. So on that day, she passed away peacefully. So sad. As the sun was setting, sun setting means evening, while she lay dead with stiff wrap in the red shroud, thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor without any chirruping. Means no chirping sound of the sparrows. All the sparrows came off and sat there on the floor. Though bread pieces were spread for them, even though the bread pieces has been spread on the floor, the sparrows took no notice of them. It's so nice, the sparrows, we say, no, sparrows, the birds, and don't have any knowledge, nothing they know about it. But see here, the grandmother used to feed sparrows breads and other grains. So as such, when the grandmother is dead, so these sparrows saw the bread spread on the floor, but then too they have not taken up, means they have not noticed it. When the corpse of grandmother was taken off, they flew away quietly, leaving the bread pieces as they were. When the grandmother has been taken away, the sparrows saw they have noticed the bread spreads over there, which has been spread over the on the floor, but then too they have not eaten. Without that, they have flew away. Means the bread leaving it, they flew away quietly. So here it is said that the grandmother, who is that? Khushwant Singh. Khushwant Singh, so nicely he has been is explained us that what was the relationship with his grandmother and also the close friendly relationship with the dogs and the sparrows. So what happened to the sparrows after the grandmother had died? So the grandmother died, the sparrows doesn't want to eat the bread pieces which has been spread it over on the ground. So even that also they doesn't want to eat. But what did they do? They just flew away quietly, and then the grandmother has been taken away from the house. So this is end of the lesson poem, that is the portrait of a lady, which has been shared with us by the author Khushwant Singh. So see you children. Bye.